हम में से हर कोई लौट कर आएगा, चाहे वो किसी भी हालत में हो। ये मनोज पांडे का वादा है आप सबसे। हम एक भी साथी पीछे छोड़कर नहीं आएंगे।
इन 21 द्वीपों को अब परम वीर चक्र विजेताओं के नाम से जाना जाएगा।
Hello and welcome. You're watching 6 p.m. Prime here on India Today. I'm Akshita Nandagopal, and on this day on Param Vir Chakra, the most fitting tribute has been given to the bravest of the brave. Now, it is 21 Andaman Islands which have been renamed today by Prime Minister Narendra Modi after our heroes, after those who've been honoured with the Param Vir Chakra. We're going to be talking about that, getting you the latest updates. Unfortunately, there's also a lot of politics that's broken out on this issue, as the opposition is saying it's no big deal. All of this is just being done by the BJP to show off. We'll get you those reactions. The headlines first. TMC RSS spar over Netaji's legacy. RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat logs Netaji. TMC blames Sangh for appropriating icons. Congress demands surgical strike proof again. Digvijay Singh questions the Modi government. BJP accuses Congress of speaking Pakistan's language. Jairam Ramesh stops the India Today reporter from confronting Digvijay Singh, shoves our mic away. Days after Prime Minister warned BJP leaders against boycott culture, Akshay Kumar hails Prime Minister as the biggest influencer, says positivity is welcome.
And if our Prime Minister is saying something like this, I think he's India's biggest influencer. If he's saying something and if things change, it'll be great for the industry. And why not? It should change. Things should change.
Storm continues over BBC's Modi documentary. All India Bar Association writes to Home Minister Amit Shah demanding a probe into what they call an international conspiracy. And big boost to naval submarine fleet. Indian Navy commissions INS Wagir, the Sand Shark, third submarine to be added in 24 months. Today, as a country, today India has done what no other country has ever done. It's honoured its heroes by naming 21 islands. This is in the Andaman and Nicobar area. They've named them after our superheroes. And on a very fitting day, it's on Netaji's 126th birth anniversary that Prime Minister Narendra Modi used this occasion to name 21 so far unnamed islands after Param Vir Chakra awardees. Several people across society have hailed Prime Minister Modi for this initiative, including several celebrities. Let's get you all the details, the highlights of the event first.
अंडमान निकोबार के 21 द्वीपों का नामकरण हुआ है। इन 21 द्वीपों को अब परम वीर चक्र विजेताओं के नाम से जाना जाएगा।
21 islands of Andaman and Nicobar now have a name. Dedicated to bravest of the brave of India, these islands represent the valor of the men who died defending our borders. Commemorating the Parakram Divas, Prime Minister Narendra Modi gave a name to these unnamed islands via video conferencing. Recipient of the first Param Vir Chakra posthumously, Major Somnath Sharma had died in the line of duty in 1947, repulsing Pakistan raiders in Srinagar. Now he will forever be immortalized as Somnath Island in the Andamans. Among newly named islands are Shaitan Singh Island, named after the hero of the Rezangla 1962 battle, and Batra Island, in memory of the young officer who sacrificed his life during Kargil War in 1999, Captain Vikram Batra. The film industry, where many of these real-life heroes have been portrayed on the big screen, actors erupted in appreciation of this announcement by the Prime Minister. Veteran actor Anupam Kher was one of the first to share the full list and called it a fitting tribute to the warriors.
Jain sir, Lieutenant Vikram Batra reporting sir.
Actor Siddharth Malhotra, who played Captain Batra in Sher Shah, penned an emotional note.
तू सारे नु मार कट के वापस आ जाएगा
कोई फिक्र न कर जानी मैं तिरंगा लहरा कर आऊंगा नहीं तो उसमें लिपट के आऊंगा
लेकिन आऊंगा जरूर
Saying the news left him with goosebumps. My heart swells with pride, he said, that I was fortunate to live his role on screen.
असला तो हम लेकर जाएंगे ही, लेकिन साथ में काफी स्ट्रेचर्स भी लेकर चलना।
इसका मतलब है साहब कि हम में से काफी लोग वापस लौट कर नहीं आएंगे।
हम में से हर कोई लौट कर आएगा, चाहे वो किसी भी हालत में हो। ये मनोज पांडे का वादा है आप सबसे।
Ajay Devgan mentioned Captain Manoj Kumar Pandey and added that such a step is assuring that the example of supreme sacrifice for the motherland he left us will continue to inspire generations to come.
कोई रहे या न रहे, मैं अपनी धरती दुश्मनों के हाथ में छोड़कर नहीं जाऊंगा।
His words found an echo with fellow actor Sunil Shetty, popular for his role in war film Border, praising the step by the government. Akshay Kumar joined in to say what a remarkable way to honor the Param Vir winners, saluting their bravery and sacrifice with the hashtag India Honors Param Virs. 126th birth anniversary of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose is also now the day etched in history to remember and honor our brave soldiers forever. Bureau Report, India Today.
And here's a reaction coming in from West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, who has claimed that the renaming of these islands in Andaman and Nicobar was done to merely gain popularity, since Netaji had himself named the islands as Swaraj Dweep as well as Shahid Dweep when he visited the islands in 1943. So she says all of this renaming of 21 islands after Param Vir Chakra is nothing new, and that it's being done to gain popularity by the Modi government. Let's listen in to exactly what Mamata said.
সবাইকে বলবো শুধু 26শে জানুয়ারি পতাকা তুলে তাদের কথা মনে করলেই হবে না, যে কোনো অকেশনে 75% আপনি গান অন্য গান, 25% স্বাধীন ভারতের যে সংগ্রাম, স্বাধীন ভারতের যে ইতিহাস, সেই ইতিহাসকে বিকৃত না করে আমরা যেন সঠিক ইতিহাসকে মানুষের কাছে তুলে ধরতে পারি।
Several such opposition leaders who've questioned what exactly this event today was all about. But I want to run you through the other reactions that have come in today. You had several celebrities also putting out their statements on this particular move, this decision by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, particularly celebrities and actors who've played some of these heroes on the silver screen. Let's get you some of those reactions that are coming in right now. Starting with Siddharth Malhotra, who played Captain Vikram Batra in Sher Shah. He says, island being named after Captain Batra leaves me with goosebumps. He's not the only one. In fact, you also had Ajay Devgan, who in fact played Kargil hero Captain Manoj Kumar Pandey, saying naming island after Captain Pandey will ensure that his sacrifice will continue to inspire generations. Ajay Devgan again has played this hero in celluloid. Now let's get you other reactions as well. You've got, in fact, Sunil Shetty thanking Prime Minister Modi for this move, saying thank you, Prime Minister, for naming islands after 21 Param Vir Chakra awardees. What a fitting tribute two warriors who made the supreme sacrifice. Anupam Kher, the legend himself, was one of the first few actors to actually tweet on this particular issue and hail the Prime Minister's decision. Now, the other reactions that have really come in from these actors, you have Jackie Shroff saying that this year is a tribute to the real heroes. So a fitting move is what all these celebrities say, many of whom have played some of these heroes and brought their stories out, made them come back to life for us. Now, let me again highlight that this kind of a decision and this move was done on the day of Parakram Divas, on Netaji's birth anniversary. And as expected, there's again a legacy war that's broken out over Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose on his 126th birth anniversary. Interestingly, the RSS celebrated his birth anniversary with this huge event in Kolkata. Now, Netaji's kin are rather divided. Some of them attended this particular event. Others have questioned whether the RSS's ideology truly aligns with Bose's ideology.
And I do hope that in the future we shall make greater use and I do hope that in the future we shall make greater use.
The 126th birth anniversary of India's biggest revolutionary, Subhash Chandra Bose, saw some big bang political fireworks in his Karm Bhumi, Bengal. Kolkata witnessed a high voltage RSS versus Trinamool Netaji legacy war crossfire. The Sangh Parivar, unfazed by the criticism of Bose's daughter Anita Pfaff, held a massive meet to pay tribute to Netaji.
सारा जीवन एक अग्नि गर्भ तपस्या है और ये तपस्या हंसते हंसते उन्होंने पार की। देश के लिए की, अपना नाम हो इसलिए नहीं की। देश के लिए किसी भी प्रकार का साहस अपने प्राणों की तमा न करते हुए करना, उन्हीं का जीवन उसका आदर्श है।
Has it been going too far?
The RSS tribute came hours after Bose's daughter had described him as a leftist who was poles apart from the RSS in a world-exclusive interview to India Today.
Soviet Union had not yet.
I certainly would not agree that Netaji shared the ideology of what I believe is RSS ideology.
The Bose family was split on the Sangh's tribute to the founder of the Azad Hind Fauj. While Ardhendu Bose, who attended the RSS event, slammed Anita, other family members were at Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee's tribute.
RSS always, the Satsang Chalakji and the members of the RSS have always had a lot of respect for Netaji. And I think she has been misled by some members of my family.
Okay.
I don't think she knows anything.
Now, RSS follows, I think, the ideology of Hindu Mahasabha. Either you shun the communal leaders that you have been following and accept Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose's inclusive secular ideology.
The Trinamool said that the RSS is trying to appropriate the icon for political gains for the BJP. But the Saffron Party hit back, saying it's Prime Minister Modi who ended decades of neglect for Netaji.
Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose did not believe in the ideology related to this RSS and others. So, RSS has nothing to do with Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose.
Okay.
And they are only trying to help BJP in related to vote bank politics.
देखिए तृणमूल कांग्रेस को नेताजी का आइडियोलॉजी पता नहीं। नेताजी के सुभाष चंद्र बोस का जीवन पूरी तरह से परे, उनका जीवन जो है उनका आदर्श थे स्वामी विवेकानंद। स्वामी विवेकानंद सारा जीवन वेदांत की बात करते थे। अब वेदांत परे है, तृणमूल कांग्रेस के कोई नेता वेदांत के बारे में कुछ बता सकते? कोई बता नहीं सकता। तो वो लोग जो बोलते हैं तो स्वाभाविक है, उन पे मत जाइए आप।
The Netaji legacy fight also saw an ugly clash between the Trinamool and Forward Bloc at Uttar Dinajpur district over the garlanding of Netaji's statue. With Suryagni Roy in Kolkata, Bureau Report, India Today.
Let's focus on the RSS event in Kolkata. There's a lot of back and forth over it, particularly within Netaji's family itself. And it's my pleasure here on 6 p.m. Prime to be joined by Netaji's daughter, Anita Bose-Pfaff. Ma'am, thank you very much for taking the time out and joining us this evening on 6 p.m. Prime. You made a comment recently saying the BJP and RSS's ideology don't reflect the ideas of Netaji. I'd like to begin by asking you, why do you say that, ma'am? What ideals do you believe the RSS and BJP don't follow?
Netaji, in all his work in life, outed himself as a socialist leader. And I think the RSS certainly, according to my information, is in a different political sphere. And even though I can respect that all parties and members of all parties want to pay their respects to Netaji for what he has sacrificed for the country, I certainly do not see an overlap between important parts of the political agenda. So I welcome RSS honoring Netaji, but their claim that he was of their opinion, if that is what they want to convey, certainly does not tally with the facts. And if you read or listen to what Netaji had to say and observe what his life was like, what his actions were like, you will find that there is a major difference. Of course, I would welcome if RSS were to start embracing many of Netaji's values and ideas and actions.
No, so then, ma'am, do you believe that, would you directly say and believe that Netaji opposed to RSS?
I think Netaji, first of all, stood for one important aspect, that is the independence of his country. And I think he welcomed those who agreed with him on that. And I think the RSS certainly cannot be considered as not working for India's independence. So in that sense, there's an overlap, but in many other aspects, there certainly isn't. I think, of course, the most important is the attitude towards communalism. Netaji was a devout religious person himself, but he believed that government should be secular and all men and women of India should live together peacefully. And I would welcome all parties embracing these ideas. I hope that it will happen so, but so far I'm not necessarily convinced that all parties do.
But, you know, ma'am, what you've said is a very, very important point, and I'm sure it will lead to a lot of discussion and debate as well. The fact that you said that RSS opposed to independence as well. It's something that's already being very strongly debated across the country. Now, when you spoke about the fact that RSS and BJP didn't follow Netaji's ideology, a lot of reactions came in. Many within the RSS, even your cousin Andaman Bose has indicated that you've kind of been misled. What's your reaction to that?
I think we have to consider one thing. Netaji passed away a long time ago, and from today's perspective, we are looking back on history. And it's not a question of agreeing with what he did in all aspects. Looking back, we want to pay respects, and I think it is perfectly legitimate for the RSS to do so. But that doesn't change the fact that Netaji in the INA and also throughout his political career always stood for the cooperation between different religious groups, especially between Hindus and the largest minority on the subcontinent. That is the Muslims. And even today, if we look just at what India is today, India may be a predominantly Muslim country as far as the membership in religions is concerned, but India also has the third largest Muslim population in the world. And I think all parties should really take that into account in a positive way and not in terms of excluding one group or the other.
But ma'am, do you have proof in the sense that, are you referring to statements that Netaji has made, particular moments from history or historical evidence by which you say that Netaji was even critical of the RSS?
I must say, I couldn't tell you. I'm not a Netaji scholar of having all his quotes on his fingertips.
Sure.
But I'm thinking of some quotes which certainly would be critical of the attitudes towards a Hindu nationalistic approach. And historically speaking, RSS stood more for a Hindu approach than for a secular approach in politics, and for mutual cooperation and respect between the religions.
My final question to you, ma'am, is, seeing this event that happened in Kolkata and many such events commemorating Netaji, what's your appeal to the administration, perhaps, on Netaji's birth anniversary?
My message to the authorities, I think, keep in mind, everyone, not only the authorities, but each and every man and woman in India, that Netaji stood for sacrifice for his fellow human beings. And I think if we can all, in a small way, contribute to that, try to sort of do something for the good of our fellow men and fellow women, I think we honor Netaji in the most profound way.
Okay. And I think honoring Netaji, his legacy, is what it's all about. Thank you very much, Anita Bose-Pfaff, for taking the time out and joining us here on India Today on Netaji's birth anniversary. So you heard what Anita Bose has said. She doesn't necessarily agree with RSS also honoring Netaji, saying that RSS and Netaji's ideology don't really match. But here's why we're saying that there are conflicting opinions on this within Bose's family, within Netaji's family itself. Joining me this evening on 6 p.m. Prime, as I wrapped up that conversation with Netaji's daughter, is Netaji's nephew, Ardendo Bose, who also attended the RSS event in Kolkata. Good evening, Mr. Bose. I'd like to begin with a very basic question. Why did you decide to attend the RSS event? So I'm sure you knew the messaging behind it.
It's such a weird question. They invited me, and I attended.
Okay, because you were invited. But I'll tell you why I asked you that question. There are many within the family itself, within the Netaji family, sir. Anita ma'am, for example, who I just spoke to, who said that Bose never stood for the RSS. So what's your response to that?
Oh, I think she's been misled by members of my family. As a matter of fact, she doesn't know that Netaji, Dr. Hedgewar studied in Kolkata. He did his medicine here. He was here from 25.
Yeah, one of the RSS founders.
And he joined the Congress. And Subhash Bose was also in the Congress. And then during the Congress meetings in 1928, etc., etc. And having said that, later on, Netaji went himself to Varda to meet Dr. Hedgewar. But when he arrived there, he was very ill, Dr. Hedgewar. So Netaji said to him, okay, I'll stay overnight. I'll come back in the morning. But unfortunately, when he went back in the morning, Dr. Hedgewar had passed on. So he did know Dr. Hedgewar. So, this is a lot of talk from, Congress and everything, I have a lot of regard for Dr. Mohan Bhagwat.
Yep.
And I think they're doing a good job in India.
Okay.
Now, whatever Anita says, as I said to you, I think she's been misled by the members of my own family.
I'll tell you where it comes from, sir. I'll tell you where it comes from. I've just had a conversation with her. She's made a couple of points. One is she's saying you can't deny that Netaji, that Bose was a socialist. She says also that RSS opposed independence.
RSS is post-independence. What does that mean? RSS was from 1925.
Hmm.
I don't know what she's saying.
So you're dismissing it. You're saying it's
RSS
not true.
launched in 1925.
No, so I'll highlight more points of what she said, because you're saying that, that's not true. She said RSS stands for Hindu nationalism, and so Netaji never backed RSS because he stood for all religions.
Netaji did not back them. And why did Netaji go to Wardha to meet Dr. Hedgewar in 1927, 28? He went all the way to Wardha. So, where does Anita get her information from? I want to know that. I mean, she's my cousin. I love her very much. I'm sure she loves me. But, we will have some differences of opinion. She gets ideas from people in my family, which is unfortunate. So, what is her? How does she know all this? From the history books? But when Netaji went and all that, and Hedgewar, the ideologies didn't meet, etc. Yes, the RSS were on a certain path, but they were nationalists. I don't, And in any case, I think it's a very noble organization. And I think they're doing good work, and they have a lot of respect for Netaji. Anita should understand that they have respect. They're not taking advantage.
No, that she did give it. Yeah, that she agreed.
Netaji. They have a lot of respect for him. I think Anita should understand that.
Okay, so you've sent out a clear message to your cousin, to Anita Bose. But sir, again, bringing it back to the reason why you chose to attend the RSS event, what do you make of how Netaji's legacy is being carried forward right now? There are a lot of questions. There's this huge debate about whether his legacy was misused earlier for petty politics, and if he was sidelined and ignored earlier.
But it's high time the people in this country came to know the truth. Sadly, it was hidden. And yes, I'm glad it is Mr. Narendra Modi from 2016, when he declassified the files, he brought Netaji Subhash Bose to the fore, to the attention of the people of this country, and the RSS has been doing the same thing. After all, Mr. Narendra Modi is very much part and parcel. His roots are in the RSS. So they brought him alive, not anybody else. Me as a family member, obviously, you know what my answer is going to be. Because I think a lot of wrong was done in the memory of Subhash Chandra Bose. It's not funny, not because I'm family, but because for India, for everybody else. He got his movement brought us independence, and not Gandhi. So let's not fool ourselves.
I will concede, Mr. Bose, that you're right in saying that today, finally, we're honoring Netaji's legacy. Thank you very much for joining us here on India Today. I'm glad we got out both versions, so our viewers can decide where really they stand on this issue of whether the RSS and the BJP really do follow Netaji's ideology, or are they poles apart. We've got you both versions. But I also want to focus on another aspect, on Netaji's birth anniversary. There are a lot of questions really about what happened to him. Bose's larger-than-life has been an inspiration for many Indians. But the final days of his life have been an enigma of sorts. India Today visited some key places in Taiwan to find answers to many of the questions surrounding Bose's reported death in a Taipei hospital following a plane crash. This is an exclusive investigative report from Ground Zero.
I am currently standing at the Songshan Airport in Taipei, the capital of Taiwan. In 1945, this airport was known as the Matsuyama Airfield, which is under the occupation of the Japanese. And on 18th August 1945, an aircraft carrying Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose allegedly or reportedly crashed at that airport.
Soon after the crash, Netaji was reportedly taken to the Andaman military hospital, which used to stand at the site of the present-day Taipei Municipal Heping Hospital. But a couple of days later, it was announced by the Japanese government that Bose had succumbed to his injuries, and his last rites were performed at this ancient crematorium in Taipei. Later converted into a public park. However, the official register of the cremations from all the crematoriums across then Japan-occupied Taiwan on that fateful day tells a different story.
As per the archival records, on that day in this crematorium, only one person was cremated and the serial number was 2641. You can see here, and that person's name is Ichiro Okura, a Japanese national.
Saurav Dangar, an Indian master's degree student in Taipei, accessed more startling information.
Firstly, I went to the Taiwan National Archives, and there a very good staff of the National Archives helped me get these documents, and I got hold of these documents within like 10 minutes. And these documents are pretty important because it has cremation records and also some more files.
But what this curious young student could access without any hassle was surprisingly out of reach of multiple Indian government-appointed panels led by Justice Khosla and Justice Mukherjee. This declassified internal probe report of 1956 by the police department of the country, where Netaji was claimed to have passed away, has clearly and categorically ruled out finding any evidence of that historic air crash, but has been gathering dust for more than 6 decades.
在那个卷宗档案的第3页，我们有看到他写说，这是未能证明包思死于第2次世界大战在台湾死亡。
But while translating the Chinese language probe documents by the Taiwan police, this Taiwanese Chinese language interpreter also pointed out that the report has some information undercover even after 60 years.
This document, there are around like 14 pages, and there is one still classified page, and I am trying to get hold of this classified page, but I could not get it.
At the National Central Library Archives in Taipei, we found an article on Netaji's death by the Japanese newspaper, the Asahi Shimbun. However, for some unknown reasons, the leading Japanese daily did not publish any report on the August 18 air crash in Taipei over the next 4 days, and until the publication of the Netaji death story on August 24th, 1945.
As per the surface level investigation which we have done in the Taiwanese capital of Taipei, we have found some really startling information and facts, and more than what meets the eye. And the Taiwanese government has already categorically said that they welcome Indian researchers to visit Taiwan, and the doors of their archives are open here, and they can do their research on Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. This is Shubham Pal reporting from Taiwan's capital Taipei for India Today.
We'll continue getting you more such exclusive investigative ground reports. I'm slipping into a short break here on 6 p.m. Prime. Coming up on the other side, we're focusing on the other big headline of the day. Days after Prime Minister advised BJP leaders against indulging in any sort of boycott culture, Akshay Kumar has hailed the Prime Minister's message. We'll tell you what he said when he referred to Prime Minister Modi as the biggest influencer in just a bit.
The men and women who built Indian industry, and the young guns who are shaping tomorrow's India. From storied careers to unicorn dreams.
The equity market is a dynamic space that needs sharper insights and perfect timing.
What stock, what fund, what to pick and what to sell.
How do you make money on the markets? And what are the superior strategies for a winning portfolio?
Your questions answered by 30 years of undisputed leadership.
Only at the Market Today Summit.
It's a new fad in India. Chai shops listing the owner's educational qualifications. Meet engineer chaiwala from Uttarakhand's Haldwani. Pankaj Pandey, a 28-year-old diploma holder in mechanical engineering, is a hit in the town.
मैंने मैकेनिकल से पॉलिटेक्निक किया हुआ है गवर्नमेंट पॉलिटेक्निक गरूर से, तो उसके साथ साथ मैं अपनी जेई के लिए तैयारी भी करता रहता हूँ, जूनियर इंजीनियर के एग्जाम्स के लिए। और जो मेरा मेन जो विजन है वो इसी को आगे लेके जाना है, इंजीनियर चाय वाले को।
Pandey used to work at a call center in Noida earlier. While he is proud to run a tea shop, he is also attempting to clear entrance exams for further education.
अपकमिंग जो भी जेई के एग्जाम्स होंगे सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के मैकेनिकल के लिए, उनकी तैयारी कर रहा हूँ। और लेकिन मैकेनिकल की तो वैसे वैकेंसी निकलना बहुत कम हो चुका है, कई सारे डिपार्टमेंट तो बहुत बिल्कुल ख़त्म ही कर दी है वैकेंसी, लेकिन फिर भी एक उम्मीद है।
Pandey's chai is popular among locals and tourists alike.
कुछ ना कुछ तो करना ही है, अच्छा कर रखा है उनने, यहाँ पे चाय की दुकान खोल दी है और बहुत बढ़िया चाय अच्छी लग रही है, टेस्ट बहुत है।
बेरोजगारी बहुत है सर आजकल, इसलिए भैया ने अपना खोल लगा छोटा मोटा काम, क्योंकि बहुत अच्छा चल रहा है यहाँ पर इनका। रेगुलर लगाते हैं सर, सुबह 4 से 9 बजे तक लगाते हैं।
Pankaj Pandey opens his tea stall every evening for 2 hours. Bureau Report, India Today.
Currently standing at the Songshan airport in Taipei, the capital of Taiwan. In 1945, this airport was known as the Matsuyama Airfield, which was under the occupation of the Japanese. And on 18th August 1945, an aircraft carrying Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose allegedly or reportedly crashed at that airport.
Soon after the crash, Netaji was reportedly taken to the Andaman military hospital, which used to stand at the site of the present-day Taipei Municipal Heping Hospital. But a couple of days later, it was announced by the Japanese government that Bose had succumbed to his injuries and his last rites were performed at this ancient crematorium in Taipei, later converted into a public park. However, the official register of the cremations from all the crematoriums across then Japan-occupied Taiwan on that fateful day tells a different story.
As per the archival records, on that day in this crematorium, only one person was cremated, and the serial number was 2641. You can see here, and that person's name is Ichiro Okura, a Japanese national.
Saurav Dangar, an Indian master's degree student in Taipei, accessed more startling information. But what this curious young student could access without any hassle was surprisingly out of reach of multiple Indian government-appointed panels led by Justice Khosla and Justice Mukherjee. This declassified internal probe report of 1956 by the police department of the country, where Netaji was claimed to have passed away, has clearly and categorically ruled out finding any evidence of that historic air crash, but has been gathering dust for more than 6 decades. At the National Central Library Archives in Taipei, we found an article on Netaji's death by the Japanese newspaper the Asahi Shimbun. However, for some unknown reasons, the leading Japanese daily did not publish any report on the August 18 air crash in Taipei over the next 4 days, and until the publication of the Netaji death story on August 24, 1945.
The Congress is now attempting damage control over Digvijay Singh's comment on the surgical strikes. Here's a reaction that's coming from Jairam Ramesh. He's tweeted, and I quote, "The views expressed by senior leader Digvijay Singh are his own and do not reflect the position of the Congress." Jairam Ramesh has further gone on to say that surgical strikes were carried out before 2014 by the UPA government. Congress has supported and will continue to support all military actions that are in the national interest. So Congress forced to react and clarify on what their stand is with regards to Digvijay's comment. They've chosen to completely distance themselves from the entire controversy, throwing Digvijay Singh under the bus. They've said these are completely his views and his views alone. Maushmi Singh is joining us with more details on this. Maushmi, interesting reaction from the Congress, seeing all of the controversial reactions that are coming into Digvijay's comment. Jairam Ramesh now saying that this is Digvijay Singh's opinion. The Congress has always backed surgical strikes.
Absolutely, Akshita. If you see, this is a damage control exercise that the Congress is indulging in, because earlier you had a video tweet of Digvijay Singh trying to clarify that he really meant, he was really questioning the details of the RDX that was found in the Pulwama terror attack with terrorists, and then talking about Devendra Singh, which he did not mention in the public meeting where he made that controversial remark. And now Jairam Ramesh, who was right there when Digvijay Singh was making that speech in Jammu, now trying to distance the party from what Digvijay Singh has said, calling it a personal opinion. In fact, there is a thinking in the Congress that the focus should be on the Bharat Jodo Yatra and the mission that Rahul Gandhi is on. And this really, with Digvijay raking up the surgical strike issue earlier, which the Congress has been, in fact, been on the back foot ever since the surgical strikes were carried out, really actually deviates from the topic.
True, and they faced this controversy before. They seem to have learnt from it, knowing that this won't go down well for the Congress. Thanks very much, Maushmi, for joining us with those details. Jairam Ramesh saying that whatever Digvijay Singh has said are his personal views. It is not the party's stand. Let's play out for you what the senior Congress leader had said earlier that's forced the Congress to come out with this clarification.
CRPF के लोगों ने, डायरेक्टर ने मांग की थी इन सीआरपीएफ के जवानों को हवाई जहाज से श्रीनगर से दिल्ली भेजा जाए, लेकिन मोदी जी ने मना कर दिया और हमारे 40 सीआरपीएफ के जवान शहीद हो जाते हैं। आज तक उस घटना की जानकारी ना संसद में उन्होंने पेश की, ना जनता के सामने रखी। सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक की बात करते हैं कि हमने इतने लोग मार गिराए, लेकिन प्रमाण कुछ नहीं, केवल झूठ का पुलंदा से ये राज कर रहे हैं।
We'll track all the reactions that come in on that big story. I'm slipping into a short break here on 6 p.m. Prime. We'll be right back with lots more news and updates.
Do you have a sweet tooth that you just can't help? The more you consume, the more you want. And that is how sugar gets us hooked. But for those wanting to break sugar addiction, there is hope. There are ways to do it, and there are several alternatives. First of all, let's tell you all about sugar and how much you'd actually end up consuming. Adults are to consume 5 teaspoons a day. That's how much women should consume. Men should consume 9, kids not more than 3 to 4. Let's now take a look at how much we're ending up consuming. Men and women are consuming about 22 teaspoons a day. Kids are consuming 24. Cut sugar from your diet and do yourself a favor. There are several advantages of sugar reduction. It will reduce your acid reflux. It controls irritable bowel syndrome. It reduces joint pains, brings down anxiety and fatigue, also tackles migraine. How then can you bid goodbye to sugar? Make a decision to do it now. Quit cold turkey. No added sugar in anything whatsoever. Go sugarless in your drinks. Tea and coffee without sugar. Reduce starch. Go for non-starchy vegetables like mushrooms, onions, green beans. Manage your stress. Well, if you do, your cortisol levels will be in check. Hunger, cravings will be in check. Get good sleep for lesser hunger pangs and better management of cravings. Here are the foods to pick and choose from if your cravings won't leave you. Go for a piece of fruit. Berries are rich in fiber and sweet. Sugar-free gum or mint is a great way to control your sugar cravings. Yogurt is a healthy snack that is high in protein and rich in calcium. Dates are the dried fruit of the date palm tree, which are highly nutritious and very sweet. Sweet potatoes are nutritious, sweet, and very filling. If you're craving something sweet, you can go for smoothies as well. Also, prunes, just like dates, are full of fiber and nutrients and are very sweet. Having the odd sweet treat is fine for most people, so you really shouldn't feel guilty if you occasionally indulge. The sugars you must skip are sugars that come from ultra-processed and packaged foods.
Welcome back. Days after Prime Minister Modi issued a stern warning to BJP leaders against indulging or firing up this boycott culture, Grateful Bollywood is sending a thank you note to him. Actor Akshay Kumar hailed Prime Minister Modi, referred to him as the biggest influencer. Meanwhile, Kareena Kapoor also again has spoken out against the boycott culture. Will the boycott brigade now relent, particularly because the timing ahead of the big Pathaan release?
Because he said it, so I think things will work out for us. It should change. Things should change.
I don't agree with it at all. Because if that happens, then how will we entertain you guys?
Bollywood superstars are saying enough is enough, taking on the boycott brigade head on. Days after Prime Minister Narendra Modi advised BJP leaders not to amplify boycott threats of films, Akshay Kumar lauded Prime Minister Modi for his message. Calling him an influencer, Akshay thanked the Prime Minister for speaking up for the film industry.
And if our Prime Minister is saying something like this, I think he's India's biggest influencer. If he's saying something and if things change, it'll be great for the industry.
And it's not just Akshay. Superstar Kareena Kapoor Khan also took a stand against the boycott brigade. Kareena, who recently faced a boycott call for her "Don't like us, don't watch us" comment, reiterated that a boycott harms the industry.
I don't agree with it at all. Because if that happens, then how will we entertain you guys? How will you have the joy and happiness in your life? Which I think everybody needs, and which cinema and films are promising, and which we've always done, and which films have always done. अगर film नहीं होगी तो entertainment कैसे होगा?
These comments come days before the release of SRK starrer Pathan, which has been embroiled in controversy after the song Besharam Rang. As right-wing groups objected to Deepika donning a saffron bikini, theatres were targeted and protests rage on. And Bollywood has had enough of this censorship. It started with SRK putting out this message.
Contrary to the belief that the spread of social media will affect cinema negatively, I believe cinema has an even more important role to play now. Social media is often driven by a certain narrowness of view that limits human nature to its baser self.
Amitabh Bachchan also sent out a strong message at the same event as SRK at the Kolkata Film Festival. The legend highlighted how freedom of expression was being curbed.
Questions are being raised on civil liberties and freedom of expression. The range has kept audiences reflecting on the politics and social concerns of our times.
Statements by Big B, SRK also prompted other stars to raise the issue with the government.
Hashtag boycott Bollywood. आपके कहने से ही ये रुक भी सकता है, क्योंकि फिलहाल ऑडियंस के दिमाग में यही है कि बॉलीवुड यानी हिंदी सिनेमा यानी जगह अच्छी नहीं है.
The boycott brigade is now facing fire as Bollywood stars, one after another, are making it clear they will no longer tolerate trolls or bullies. Bureau Report, India Today.
That's all we have time for in this edition of 6 p.m. Prime. Thanks very much for tuning in. Coming up on the other side, Preeti Chaudhary gets you the latest of what's coming in on the election front as she counts down to Mission 2024. The focus is on the Congress's surgical strike self-goal by Digvijay Singh.
Mishra, the first Indian designer ever to showcase at the Paris Haute Couture Week, is back at the global stage and will be showcasing his new collection amidst global giants like Schiaparelli, Christian Dior, Iris van Herpen, Jean-Baptiste Valli and many others. Gaurav Gupta becomes the third Indian ever to be invited to showcase at the Paris Haute Couture Week 2023. The Fédération de la Haute Couture et de la Mode has invited Gupta from India, and this is touted to be no small feat for an Indian designer. Vaishali Shadangule, who has been the first woman from India ever to have showcased at the Paris Haute Couture Week, is back this year with an off-calendar showcase. India Today caught up with a woman whose work feeds more than 2,500 families of remote villages in India. The Fashion Design Council of India unveils the curtain on FDCI India Men's Weekend in Goa with 11 top designers, a testimony to how men's fashion is gaining prominence and is changing slowly in India. Dhruv Kapoor becomes the first Indian to mount a menswear showcase at the Milan Fashion Week 2023. Ram Charan becomes the only Indian featured on Esquire's Best Dressed Men of 2023 Golden Globe Awards, donning a Tarun Tahiliani outfit. Aditya Birla Group's fabric brand Leva partnered with the 71st Miss Universe held at Orleans, with countries having the freedom to design capes based on their own creative sensibilities.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
You are watching India Today.
Good evening, viewers. I'm Preeti Chaudhary. Let me quickly take you through the top headlines in this hour. TMC RSS power over Netaji's legacy. RSS chief Bhagwat lauds Netaji. TMC blames RSS for appropriating icons. Congress demands surgical strike proof again. Digvijay Singh questions the Modi government. BJP accuses the Congress of speaking Pakistan's language. Party clarifies, says Digvijay's view is not that of the party. Jairam Ramesh stops India Today reporter from confronting Digvijay Singh, shoves India Today mic.